Well, here we are in the shop. We're doing a tear down and a rebuild of the saw. She was running a little bit weird and needed to keep screwing with the carburetor, so I knew something was up. So we pulled it all apart here and got her spread out so we know where everything is. And I've been watching some videos online lately, and a couple of really simple mods a guy can do to the X-TORQ. You see these fins inside of here. Well, the whole point of all that is these carburetors like to separate the air and the fuel and blow out the exhaust of inside the piston with fresh air instead of fuel air mixture. So anyways, beyond that, this is just restrictive, and I don't really care about pushing my exhaust out with not cold air. I'd rather my saw runs better. So yeah, we're gonna peel out these dividers and these couple of pieces feeding the carburetor and put it all back together. Fix the spark plug boot, that was blown apart. Got a new one of those, and I think oh yeah, we got ourselves a carburetor rebuild kit as well. So the diaphragm and the needles and the springs and all the junk that wears out, we're gonna replace all that in this little bad boy, and you'll see soon she'll live again and purr. Right, we got the bearings right here all cleaned up. Each one of those little gaps was all full of junk, and none of these wanted to spin. There was crap all stuck inside of there. But every little bit counts when you're trying to spool things back up. We got the head all cleaned out here. I used a toothbrush and some carb clean. Got all the black crap off the top of the head inside the piston cylinder there. So everybody's cleaned up. No crappy scrapes in there that they're gonna mess anything up. And I think I've decided that I'm gonna delete the gasket that normally goes on here in between the head and the lower part of the crankcase, and then gain myself a little bit of room on the intake stroke for a little bit more time for more fuel to come on in. We're also going to take a die grinder, and this middle bit right here, the carburetor is separated fuel air mixture and then just air as it is right now. We're going to cut those fins out on the boot that goes on here. So I'm also going to kind of feather this middle portion back a bit so we get a little bit of fuel air mixture in both of these ports. And the reason I want to do that is so this side of the piston gets lubricated from the oil that's mixed in with the gasoline, where with this setup right here, it's blowing just cold air at the piston. So the side of the piston that gets fed here, it ends up blowing all the oil off, and it wears out preemptively. So we're gonna spool that back too and feather it all in, and she'll be running like a dream. Oh yeah, I just got back from Walker's Saw Shop up there in Nanaimo, and fella up there was telling me there's two different kinds of spark plugs here. And one of the reasons that my spark plug boot may have broken is you got these kind of spark plug heads that spin off. And so what happens, your chainsaw gets rattling away and this thing comes loose and things start moving all over the place. And that's when things break on chainsaws, when they shouldn't be moving. So we got ourselves a spark plug. It's solid. This thing don't move. There's only one digit difference in the number on the spark plug, so you got to know what you're looking for. Thanks, Walkers. There you go. Clean this up a little bit now. But we got all the junk out of the way. That'll help things. Look at the angle the air's got to turn from this side here. 90 degrees. Air doesn't like to hit corners like that. It slows right down. We're going to cut that out. Got most of the fin out now. Just going to hit her up with the old Dremel. Not too bad of a cleanup. Hardly even know there was a thing in there. Look at that, the air will cruise right through. Sweet. Now what we're going to do is use the Dremel again and blend this area together in the middle and kind of round it off, because the air is going to be coming right at it. We don't want it to be running smack dab into a flat surface there. It's going to slow down too much. So we're going to round off the edges so it gently chooses a direction. Gotta charge up the old Dremel, boys. See inside the piston there? The spark plug is right where we want it, pointing right into the middle. So then when she lights, kaboom, right in the center, baby. That's how we want it. Here's the pressure release valve. It sits right up here on the top of the head. Makes it easier to pull the cord and start the saw, because it lets some of the pressure out of the top of the piston there until she gets going, and it's supposed to close itself. So you push it like that and the air goes through the inside and out this little tiny hole here. Well, it was gummed right up and black and dirty, and I don't think when it closed it was actually closing good enough, but we got her cleaned up now. No more air leaks. That's better. Clean off some of that junk. Oh yeah, looking good. Carb peeled apart, cleaned her up. The unfortunate part is the carb kit that I got is the wrong carb kit. So looks like we're just going to clean it up and put her back together. Actually, the diaphragm here doesn't look in too bad a shape. So yeah, no big deal. Bolt it all back together onto the head. Looking good. Little silicone in between the connection points just to help her stay sealed. Now it's time to stick the ignition back on. Right around there. Just using this chunk of paper here to space between the magnet and the pickup here, so they don't touch when she spins. Nice little trick. And pow, there she is. Connected up, dialed in, everything free spins. Beautiful. Pow pow, there's the pull cover back on. Alright, one step closer. Time to attach the head again. But what we're going to do, instead of using the old gasket, we're going to use some of this gray gasket maker. High temp, works really well with aluminum. We're just going to make a little bead here. Alright, we got a really thin layer all the way around. Now we're just going to drizzle a little bit of 2-stroke oil into this old girl and slide her on. Oh, careful. Just kind of get her positioned here and slide her down easy. Right. Slide on in there. Gotta feed some lines through. Yeah, that's right. And now we gotta clip these guys into place down here. Kind of tough to do with one hand. We'll get these guys clipped in, and we're sitting down and we'll bolt her up. Of course, we're gonna add some red perma Loctite. Keep everybody locked down. All right, so what we're gonna do is leave her to dry like that now for about an hour. But for now, we'll get the choke lever back in there. Whilst we wait for things to dry. Yeah, and there you go. Excellent. Let's attach the pulse line. It's deep down in here, stuck and buried. There we go. So the pulse line, we'll stick him onto the old fuel pump. And I got my fuel line that I got plugged up right here. Hopefully she don't shoot fuel everywhere. Okay. Let's get it up there. Alright. Making progress, baby. Fuel line is on. We're looking good there. Got to get the trigger back in business here. I have to stick this little guy down in here. There it is. Just peel this dude back, stick him in there, and pew 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 pew. Trigger engaged. All right. Let's the fuel air filter back on. Put our new spark plug dude on our now we're cooking with heat. Beautiful. Alright. There it is. Let's stick that guy back in. She's on there pretty good. Alright, I'll buy that for $1. Yep. Alright. Now we just gotta wait for this guy to dry, and then we'll torque it down real good and hard. We're looking good. Just gotta get the exhaust on there. She almost is a saw again, boys. Well, muffler's on. Got her all dialed in. Now just to put the chain sight on here. Get our sweet little bearing on point. Clutch, nice and cleaned out. Make sure you're on there, buddy. Simple as that. And we got the washer dealie. And this little snap ring, which I'm gonna need 2 hands for. Hey, dialed in, held on, ready to rock. Cheers, we got all the covers on now. We're dialed in. Well, all the covers except this guy. I mean, you know, that's that. Now that is a chainsaw again, folks. Oh yeah, we just got to stick a bar on there and the dogs, and my God, we have rebuilt her. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Click that little bell down in the corner for notifications. Keep tuned in.